Last week, the $40 bag that was really 10. Today, rice water. Everyone swears it supercharges plants. I checked the real studies. 7 things the internet tells you about rice water. I read the actual research, not the blogs. Number 1 is what they all miss. 3 of these sound like solid science. Those fool careful gardeners. 3 are just wrong. And number 1 changes everything. Same Zone 7 beds, same 30-year soil. I didn't trust the viral videos. I checked every claim against university research. Receipts, not vibes. Welcome back, Maggie here. That subscribe button keeps me digging through bad advice so your garden doesn't pay for it. Quick one for the comments. Have you poured rice water on your plants? Did you see anything or nothing? I read every reply. No fluff, no sponsor. Let's count down from 7. Myth 7. The one the skeptics start with. It's just cloudy water. Plain tap does the exact same thing. So why bother? Here's the thing. Rinse your rice and you wash 7 to 70% of the grain's soluble nutrients straight into that bowl. Scientists measured it. White rice rinse runs around 90 milligrams of phosphorus and 118 of potassium per liter. Your tap water? Barely a trace. So that cloudy water carries real potassium and phosphorus, over 1,000 times the phosphorus of tap. So no, it isn't nothing. It's a light feed, small amounts but real ones. The just cloudy water crowd is half wrong. But hold that thought. Small is the key word. We'll come back to how small when we hit number 4. So the plain water myth's busted. Number 6 fills the comment section every single time. Myth 6. You have to boil it. Cooked rice water is way more nutritious than the raw rinse, so simmer it first. Honestly, nobody's actually run boiled against plain on a real plant. There's no university head-to-head. Anyone saying proven is guessing. The real difference is just starch concentration. Cooking pulls a bit more out. It's chemistry, not magic. And here's the catch. One horticulture expert points out boiled water loses the starch the microbes feed on, so cooked is better might work against you. And never ever use water you boiled salty rice in. Salt wrecks plants. If you boil, plain water only, then cool it. Hold up. Skip this one. The tip that sounds the most scientific and trips up the smartest gardeners. You'll hear rice water loads your plants with silicon for strong stems and tough leaves. Rice is a silicon plant, right? The husk is, sure, almost all silica, but nobody has ever measured how much usable silicon actually ends up in the rinse. Plants take silicon in just one dissolved form, and it's never been found in rice water at any real level. So that one's verified for the husk, not the bowl. File it under sounds right, isn't measured. Number 5 is the big promise. Rice water replaces your fertilizer. Spoiler, it doesn't. And I'm still building to number 1. Myth 5, toss the fertilizer. Rice water is a free, complete replacement that supercharges your whole garden. Remember those numbers from earlier? Real, but small? 90 milligrams of phosphorus sounds like a lot, until you compare what a plant needs. In the cleanest field trial, rice water did help, but the best result wasn't rice water alone. It was half-dose fertilizer plus rice water. So it's a booster, not a substitute. Supercharge is the wrong word. A little extra help is the honest one. Number 4 is where one careful study quietly settles the whole argument. Myth 4, the flip side. It's all hype. The science says rice water does basically nothing measurable. Not so fast. Researchers tested rinse water against real fertilizer across 3 different soils: sandy, clay, and silt. And the plants grew about the same. Same height, same leaf count, similar weight on 3 soils. That's not nothing, that's measurable. Halfway down, 4 myths sorted, and we still haven't hit the one that explains why any of it works. Quick tally. Not just water, no need to boil, no silicon serum, no fertilizer replacement, but it does grow plants. If you've ever poured something on your garden hoping it'd help, hit like. It keeps this channel checking the claims nobody else does. Number 3, the one and done myth, where good results turn into a promise that doesn't hold up outside. Myth 3, give your bed 1 good pour of rice water and you're set for the season. Sounds easy, except in the open garden. Under real rain, the same study found no buildup. The nutrients just washed away. And the right way to keep that goodness in the soil, ferment, dilution, timing, that's the whole next video I'm building toward. So one pour does nothing lasting. It's a steady habit, a little at a time, not a single magic splash. Treat it like feeding. And another one to skip, a number that sounds official but nobody can back. You'll see exact recipes everywhere. 1 part rice water to 3 parts tap, a weekly drench, ferment for exactly 10 days. Here's the problem. No extension service, no university, no gardening authority has ever published a real dilution spec for rice water. Those neat ratios came from blogs copying each other. Garden practice lands near 1 to 3, but treat it as a starting point, not a law. Number 2, where the viral videos invent science wholesale. Then number 1, the part that finally made all of this make sense. Myth 2, the miracle stat package, thousands of worms in 3 days, 40% bigger harvests, a dead bed reborn in a weekend. Let's check the receipts. The 40% harvest boost? No study shows it. Thousands of worms in 3 days? That's not how worms work. They don't breed that fast. What the real trial found was modest, comparable growth over 90 days, and only if you keep at it. Slow and steady, not a miracle. And the favorite trick, a precise-sounding stat with a made-up source bolted on to make it feel proven. When a tip needs a giant round number and a miracle timeline to sell it, the science usually isn't there. The honest version is smaller. The real number from the lab? Fermenting 3 days raised the nutrients by anywhere from 7 to 56%. Good, not a fairy tale. One more thing to watch, because pouring too much of this on actually backfires. Overdo the rice water and you can drift the wrong way. Fungus gnats, white mold on the surface, even soured pockets in the soil. A university extension fact sheet is clear: starch plus constant damp soil feeds fungus gnats, and their larvae can gnaw tender roots. And researchers found piling on carbon can choke the oxygen out of soil into dead zones, so dilute it and let the top dry. Which brings us to number 1. The part nobody in those viral videos actually explains, the reason it works at all. Number 1, the ferment and the twist. Let that rice water sit 3 days and you've changed the whole game. In 3 days, soil bacteria move in and go to work. The nutrients climb, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium all jump. The raw rinse was just the starting line. The real action shows up after it's had time to sit and ferment. In one real trial, that fermented rice water on its own grew greens about as well as a full dose of fertilizer. Which sounds like magic, hold on, because the reason why is the actual point. Here's the twist. The rice water isn't really feeding your plant, it's feeding the microbes in your soil. The starch is bug food, and the bugs do the work. That's the whole secret, nobody bothers to say out loud. Scientists proved it cleanly. Add light carbon, sugars, starch to soil with no roots at all, and the microbes wake right up. Their activity doubles, even triples. The bugs were the engine the whole time. And right in the rice water trial, the soil bacteria shot up past 2 million per gram, the highest of any treatment. Here's the kicker. Plain fertilizer actually starved those same bugs. Rice water fed them. So that's the answer to, does it work? Yes, but as a weak little biofertilizer, a trickle of nutrients, plus a feast for the bugs. But more isn't better. Pour on too much starch and the microbes burn through the oxygen. That's the dead pocket I warned about. Balance is everything. A little fermented rinse feeds the soil. A flood of it suffocates the soil. And the research backs every piece: the ferment, the microbe bloom, the carbon priming. Field trials and lab studies, not a viral thumbnail. So here's what to do instead of dumping raw rinse and hoping, and it's the whole reason I split this into 2 videos. Don't expect raw rinse to do much. Ferment it 3 days first. That's where the real lift comes from. And keep a healthy living soil for the microbes to live in. No microbes, no payoff, they're the whole point. Then go easy, dilute it. Pour a little at a time. Let the top dry between feeds. You're feeding soil life, not flooding a bed. One honest note, rice water won't transform a dead bed overnight. It's a gentle nudge that adds up over a season. Save your rinse, ferment it 3 days, Dilute it and pour a little into living soil. Feed the microbes, they feed the plant. Same skill that told you a $40 bag was really 10. Read what's actually happening underneath, not what the thumbnail promises. Save this video. Next time you're about to toss your rice water down the drain, future you will want this. The bigger truth, videos love rice water because free fertilizer gets the clicks. The boring real answer, ferment and feed your soil, doesn't. My neighbor poured raw rinse on her tomatoes for a month, saw nothing, and gave up. She just skipped the one step that mattered. Quick recap. 7 myths, and the one truth underneath them all. If you remember one thing, rice water doesn't feed your plant. It feeds the soil microbes and they feed your plant. Ferment first. Number 2, ignore the miracle numbers. No 40% harvest, no 1,000 worms in 3 days, no buried genius who proved it. And the everyday one, it's not just cloudy water and it's not a fertilizer replacement either. It's a weak little biofertilizer. Just water, must boil, silicon serum, fertilizer replacement, fake recipes, miracle stats, and the ferment that actually does the work. Here's the thing. Rice water isn't the enemy and it isn't a miracle. Used right, fermented, diluted into living soil, it genuinely helps. You don't need a serum or a secret. Just feed the soil with the rinse water you are about to pour down the drain. The best gardens never ran on viral hacks. They ran on somebody bothering to check whether the advice was actually true. Everyone swore rice water feeds your plants, not directly. The magic was never in the water. It was in what the bugs did. Free doesn't mean magic. The cheapest thing in your kitchen can genuinely help your garden, but only if you understand what it's doing. Next video, the right way to ferment and dilute rice water, the batch I keep by the back door. End screen tiles up. Tap it. Smart dollars, real gardens, verified receipts. Drop a comment. Which garden myth should I put on trial next? I read everyone. I'll see you next time.